The sky didn't just burn, it broke. You survived the flash, you survived the shock wave. Good. But stop celebrating. The real executioner is just arriving. Look at the horizon. That dark curtain isn't a storm. It is a cascade of heavy, glowing grit headed straight for your lungs. The deadly snow. Most people survive the blast only to drop in the first 24 hours simply because they breathe. They open a window to watch the world end. They lose. You are going to turn your home into a sealed fortress. Welcome to the invisible war. Erase every disaster movie you've ever watched from your memory. They lied to you. Radiation is not a green, glowing mist that floats through keyholes like a ghost. If you prepare for gas, you die. The enemy is distinct, physical, and heavy. We call it fallout, but you need to visualize it as death grit. Here is the mechanics of the nightmare. The fireball vaporized thousands of tons of earth, concrete, and steel, fused them with unstable isotopes, and shot them into the stratosphere. Now gravity is calling them home. This stuff behaves exactly like sand or fine ash from a volcanic eruption. It has mass, it follows the wind currents, but eventually it falls. This is critical physics. Because it is heavy, it accumulates. It piles up in rain gutters. It drifts against the base of your door, and it settles on flat surfaces like roofs and window sills. Why is this distinction vital? Because you are not fighting a spirit, you are fighting dust. A single grain the size of a salt crystal, if inhaled or swallowed, turns your body into a walking reactor. Beta particles burn your skin like acid. Alpha particles, harmless on the outside, become microscopic shotguns inside your lungs, shredding your cells from within. Look outside. If you see a darkening sky or a haze that looks like a coming thunderstorm, that is the leading edge. It acts like a blizzard. Where snow drifts, fallout drifts. Treat every surface outside as if it is coated in arsenic. It is not magic, it is dirt, and dirt can be kept out. Your home is a living organism. It breathes. Right now, its lungs are trying to kill you. The biggest mistake rookies make is trying to stay comfortable. You feel the heat rising, the panic setting in, and you reach for the thermostat. Do not touch it. If you hear the hum of an air conditioner or a heater, you are hearing the sound of your own doom. Kill the power to all climate control systems immediately. Go to the breaker box and rip the switches down. Here's the science of why you must sweat to survive. Most residential HVAC systems act as massive intake valves. Even closed-loop systems create pressure differentials. But the real assassins are the exhaust fans. The range hood in your kitchen, the ventilation fan in your bathroom, they are lethal. Think about the physics. When you run an exhaust fan, you are pushing air out of your house. Nature hates a vacuum. To replace that displaced air, the house begins to suck. It pulls air in through every microscopic crack, every unsealed window frame, and every gap under the door. You are turning your bunker into a vacuum cleaner, and the dust bag is your living room. You are actively pulling the radioactive grit inside. You need static air. No movement, no circulation, no pressure changes. The air inside is all you have. It's stale, it's getting hot, and it smells like fear. Good. That means it's still. If the air is moving, it's carrying particles. If it's still, the heavy dust settles on the floor where you can control it. Silence your house. If the machinery is running, you are losing. You silenced the house, now you seal the coffin. Grab your weapon of choice. Duct tape, masking tape, packing tape, it doesn't matter. If it sticks, it saves lives. You are hunting for gaps. Start with the obvious, windows and doors. The glass will stop the alpha particles, but the frame is a traitor. Run a solid line of tape over every seam where the frame meets the wall and where the sash meets the sill. Do not leave a pinhole. Now, look down. The gap under your front door is a superhighway for contaminated grit. Rolled up dry tiles are useless. Wind pushes dust right through the fibers. You need a wet trap. Soak heavy tiles in water, wring them out until they are damp, and jam them tight against the bottom of every exterior door. The water acts as a glue for the particles, trapping them in the fabric matrix like a filter. Do not get lazy. The devil is in the details. Keyholes are open tunnels directly to the outside. Tape them over. Mail slots, tape them shut. The fireplace damper, close it, then tape a garbage bag over the opening. You are building a pressurized hull. If you can feel a draft, you are already dead. Find it, seal it. The golden rule is simple. The door stays shut, but chaos does not respect your rules. Maybe a straggler family member stumbles in at 4 p.m. Maybe a seal fails. You need a contingency for the breach. You need to construct a hot zone. Choose one room as your sacrificial chamber. Usually, this is the hallway, mudroom, or vestibule immediately inside your front door. This space is no longer part of your home. It is a buffer zone. It belongs to the enemy now. Seal the inner door, the one leading from the hallway to your living quarters, with double layers of tape. That inner door is now your true front line. If someone must enter, or if you are forced to exit and return, the protocol is absolute. You strip in the hot zone, every stitch of clothing. The dust rides on fabric like burrs on a dog. You do not bring the coat inside. You leave it on the floor of the lock. You kick your boots into the corner. You wipe exposed skin with a damp cloth before you cross the inner threshold. The contamination stays in the airlock. If you drag that dust into your clean zone, you have breached your own hull. Nothing crosses that line. Your lungs are safe. Now, look at your kitchen. That fruit bowl on the table, that is not food anymore. It is a sponge for poison. Water is your gold standard. The moment the flash hits, the countdown starts for the municipal grid. The pumps will fail or the pipes will shatter. Pressure drops to zero. You have minutes, maybe seconds. Run to the bathroom, plug the tub, turn on the tap full blast, fill every bucket, pot, and bottle you own. That bathtub holds 50 gallons of life. Once the fallout starts, the city water supply is suspect. Do not drink from the tap. Food security is about layers. The physics of fallout is simple. It falls down. If you have an open bag of chips or bread on the counter, it is vulnerable. The dust is microscopic. You will not see it garnish your dinner. Put everything in the fridge. It is an insulated, airtight, armored box. If it won't fit, double bag it in heavy trash bags and tape them shut. You are eating only what was sealed before the sky fell. If you ingest an alpha emitter, no amount of tape on the windows can save you. You rot from the inside out. Cover your assets.
You are locked in a box. The instinct is to tear the tape off and look, to open a slat and stare at the apocalypse. Don't. You are flying blind, and you have to get comfortable with that. But you need intel. You need to know if the cloud is hunting you. Use indirect recon. Do not press your face against the glass. Gamma radiation punches through windows like they aren't even there. Stand back deep in the room. Use the angles. Look for the grim markers, smoke columns from the fires on the horizon. If that black smoke is tilting toward you, the fallout is riding that same current. Watch the trees. Watch the debris tumbling down the street. If the trash is hitting your front door, the invisible cloud is right behind it. This is binary. Wind in your face, double your seals and retreat to the center of the house. Wind at your back, you just bought a few hours of grace. Get your reading, then get away from the glass. Windows are the weak point in your armor. Here is the ugly reality. The survival manuals skip. You are a biological engine inside a sealed Tupperware container. You produce waste, wrappers, cans, and biological byproducts. In a normal crisis, you take the trash out. Not today. You cannot open that door at 8 p.m. to toss a bag. You break the seal, you invite the dust. So, you live with it. You need to manage your own decay. Establish a strict waste zone in the corner furthest from your water and sleeping area. Double bag every scrap of trash immediately. If the water pressure is dead, do not flush the toilet. You are wasting liquid gold to move sewage. Use the bucket method. Line a bucket with a heavy-duty trash bag. Seal it airtight with tape after every single use. It is gross. It is primitive. But if you open a window to ventilate the smell, you are trading a bad odor for a slow death. Keep it sealed. Keep it inside. The clock is your only ally. The nature of fallout is frantic energy. It burns itself out. We call it the 7-10 rule. It is the only math you need to know. For every 7-fold increase in time, there is a 10-fold decrease in lethality. Let's do the numbers. Imagine the radiation level is 1,000 units at 1 hour after the blast. By 7 hours post-blast, it drops to 100 units. By 49 hours, roughly 2 days, it drops to 10 units. This means the first 24 hours are the red zone. The dust outside is screaming with energy. If you panic and run at 2 a.m. because you feel claustrophobic, you are walking into the reactor core. But if you hold the line, if you sit in the dark and wait, the threat burns out. By waiting just one day, you reduce your exposure risk by over 90%. Patience is not a virtue, it is a shield. Keep it sealed. Let the physics work for you. The sun rises on day 2. The Geiger counter outside has stopped screaming and started clicking. You made it. You didn't run, you didn't panic, and you didn't breathe the dust. You survived the deadliest day in human history simply by sitting still. Most didn't. They opened the door to look. They turned on the fan to cool off. They are gone. You are still here. The immediate threat has decayed, but the war is just beginning. You are no longer a civilian. You are a survivor. Unseal the first layer. Check your sensors. Welcome to the new world.